very special day because we are creating AZ-104 certification video, guys. Hello and welcome to all of you, and my name is Harsh, and in this particular video we'll learn a little bit more about the cost management and certain new features introduced in Microsoft Azure, especially in the year of 2023. Yes, Microsoft has introduced a very new cost management preview. Certainly it is in the preview, but again, you get the better idea how you can start looking more information about the daily or weekly or quarterly or monthly cost, so that you can talk to the certain organization people or your management, or let's say a department, and talk to them, hey, you guys are actually consuming a lot of money which has been assigned to your department, or certain resources and so on. We will talk about all those stuff in this video. And I also do remember that we covered Azure subscription level, the cost analysis, where I showed you just like here on this particular picture, you can see some service name. Right now we don't know actually more about it, but yeah, we will talk about more on this, don't worry. We have the cost analysis based on the location. We have the resource group name, which actually does cost us more. And now we will drill down a little bit more about these old details, and also I will talk to you how you can start looking based on the resources or based on the resource group, the subscription, the different kind of levels. Or I give you another example. Let's say somebody in your organization comes to you and said, Harsh, I really wanted to know that my Australia office, how much does it cost to you, how much they are consuming, because we have only 3 departments there, and really wanted to know that how much money they are actually consuming from the organization. You can specifically go to that management group, check the storage, check the details of your resources, and share the details to that certain team. And not only that, I like to mention that because here I start with the second point. Yeah, like I said, it's a special day. So you can also set the budget. You can set an alert that if your organization reaches to a certain level of the consumption of the money, then you will start receiving an email and said, hey, you have already consumed 80% of the total money that you actually assigned to create those resources, or whatever, the storage, or whatever you are trying to control. You can set it up based on those budgets. And this is so important for many of the organizations, and that is why I actually choose this option to teach you in AZ-104, because here, as an administrator, as a person who is actually controlling, maintaining, managing all those resources, you must be very well aware about these options and settings, and obviously different options, like from where you can see all the invoices. If you like to change the payment method, where you can go, though it is not a part of the cost management, but again, it's some kind of settings that you might wants to change. This is just up to you. So we'll cover all those stuff. And not only this, we will talk about a little bit more on Azure cost management, where we will understand more that how you can start controlling. And right after that, because this is all about the practical, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on the theoretical concepts. It's very easy to understand, very basic to know, that you really want to know how much does it cost to your organization. That's all, the job done. Yeah, what are the options there that can help us? This is something so important for us, and I like to explain you about everything, because in this cost management you will understand why it is so important you to know, and how actually your resources is currently utilizing all those money. And with that option, we will learn about the exporting. And if you are running an AWS, which means Amazon Web Services, obviously where is the option to connect all those billing data to the Microsoft Azure, so that you can gather all those detail under one single roof. But right now, not for Google Cloud Platform, only for AWS at this moment. Yeah, there's a connector that you need to configure, though we are not going to cover, but at least I will tell you that what are the advantages of using Microsoft Azure cost management here in this video. So guys, I'm sure you're ready. So let's begin. Whew, we are in Microsoft Azure portal now, and let's begin to learn more on Azure cost management. The first thing first, you should start with the basic, because right now in Microsoft Azure portal, I highly suggest and recommend you to go to your subscriptions, and in the subscription, it will help you to understand your current cost and a little bit more on details about your resources and what are the options there. Because if someone asks you, hey, tell me the overall cost on the subscription based, so obviously you must have an answer. So once you click on the subscription, how many subscription you are currently on will share the detail on this page, because here you can see the current cost. Likewise, HarshArena non-prod is consuming $23.58, and it is currently secure score with the 27%. Doesn't matter, I don't mind. The important thing is about the management group, and right now is Harsh root level. I will explain you what that is, how you're going to consume, and how you're going to scope in terms of finding your overall cost. But at the moment, let's click on any one of the subscription, and I like to share this subscription first. Reason being, it's currently consuming my IoT device detail, or in terms of the resources, and here is the detail you can see on the screen, because Microsoft is actually giving me a $150 for the whole month, and currently the credit, as you can see, the remaining is 124.91. And overall, by the end of this month, or whatever the billing cycle currently I am using, at the end of the month or day, I can say that my forecast is gonna be $46.48. And if you like to see more details in terms of spending rate, just click on view detail. I think this would be a good way to start with. And yeah, you have to wait, because currently we are in the cost analysis, and here it will give you, or provide you the much more broader detail that how you can expect $46 by the end of the month. Because here, start with one thing, the scope. Guys, you must be aware when you actually choose your subscription. So if you click on this one, HarshArena, non-prod or whatsoever, options are available here. What I like to mention is currently the root management. Root management is the top management. Why it is important for you? Because if I go to switch directory, because right now I'm in this directory, which is HarshArena, and I have built already my offices to different location for different purposes. I have certain resources in those management groups as well. So if I click on the switch directories, here guys, you can see Australia Corporate, Green Cross Health, Netcom Learning. I mean, you can avoid that what these are, but this is just for your reference purposes. So let's say currently I'm in the HarshArena organization and really want to know that how much it is actually consuming my overall cost. So I can go back, and here I can see the detail, and as you can see, the overall accumulated cost is right now, the current cost is $23.58, and with the same spending speed, it's gonna be $46.48. Makes sense to all of you? Now start with first down below the service name. If you click on service name, here you can see the resources. Based on resources, you can understand, though you can see what kind of services consuming what, I mean overall money. You can gather those details right under this place. Based on the location, meter, and the pricing model, resources, again tags, service tier, again you can get the details, because right now under East US 2 I have set up my maximum resource group, my resources, so you can get the details right here. And similarly, in resource group name, you can also identify how many resource group currently I have created and what does it cost to me in terms of overall consumption of my resources. So as you can see, I have currently two actually resource group. One is HA and another is Microsoft Security. So HA is consuming more money than Microsoft.Security. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. But what I like to mention here is if you go to the group by, click none, obviously, and billing period, you can set up your billing period, your location. Likewise, I mentioned if you click on location, so it will try to tell us a little bit more detail on that or based on that location. As you can see, as I hover my mouse to this blue part, here you can get the detail. US East 2 $15.04 is currently consuming. Unassigned 0.14, maybe it's just kind of a access of my data that is consuming a little bit space. And this is my forecast, is trying to assume that this much money is gonna be spent from whatever the money currently I am expecting. But if I take you a little bit further, I really want you to play with these options, because these are gonna be so important and play a big role in terms of reviewing your data and of course downloading and exporting all of your information. So if I click on accumulated instead of accumulated based on daily basis, I really want to know what's going on. Okay, here's a detail. I don't understand much. If I try to change my area to, let's say, table or columns, whatever, I like column here on a daily basis. So on January 30, it consumed 2.42. On 31st, and blah blah blah, for February 4, February 7, 8, and as of today is February 17, it already consumes $0.96. Okay, I got that. Okay, fine, no problem. What about monthly basis? I really want to see how it is going from the monthly basis, because it helps me to overall understand on which month I actually consume more money. So I like to see in the area, because here more important. Okay, it goes to Jan, and in the February it go high. If you like to do or review the separate line, you can choose the separate line here. See, because I actually create a resource in the January end, and here you can see the forecast. Wow, I mean, this is something so important, and I think you get the idea how you can play around with this option. Now more on the view, because here is the accumulated detail, but here you can play even more detail. Cost by resource, yeah, that would be helpful, because you really want to know which resource is consuming how much money. And here is the detail, and even in fact much more detailed information about all those resources, because if you click on these different option, Harsh Raspberry Pi IoT Hub, I have actually created, the service name is this one, and the meter, I mean the tier I'm using is S1 unit. It cost me $14. Similarly, you can choose your IP address. Okay, IP address is standard IPv4. Okay, fine, 0.74. So guys, this is how you can actually start playing with these all options and filtered, or I mean not filtered, I mean I mean these are the filters you can use to play around with the option to understand what is going on, and you can submit those detail to your organization so that they can start reviewing. Your management say, hey Harsh, I really want to know that how this is going on, I mean why this is consuming that much. And as you can see, it gives us even more detail that overall 377,548%. Come on, it's too high. So at least you can submit these different options, and you can download these options and the information so that you can start reviewing your cost analysis, right? And monthly basis, okay, let me just go back one more time, because here I like to show you the last option. Here you can choose the time frame, like in between what time you like to see the detail, so that if your organization or your management has a certain question, you can check your billing period. It's like January 27 to February 26, this is gonna be, or last 7 days, or this month, or I mean, you have all those options right under this place. Any question? I believe everything is pretty much clear and straightforward. Yeah, you can share this chat, or I mean dashboard. That's what I call it, dashboard. You can share with the certain people. Just copy this information and share with other member of your Azure services, especially who are the owners in general. Though we can set up the automation when we set up the budget, but currently we are understanding how many options do we have to review the cost analysis for resources and all those details. Now, this is under one place, that is subscription, right? We go to the subscription, we click on subscription, and we start reviewing the data. Similarly, cost by resource, Azure Defender, coverage, currently what's going on. But these are just the details for the subscription based. And if you click on cost analysis, most probably this is gonna the similar screen. We just actually went and just do some configuration there. It's gonna be the same one. No change, no difference. Now, when we talk about more on the budget, don't worry, wait, patience. I will tell you that where are the situation. Sorry, what I'm talking about here. It's about to sleep, guys. What's the time here at my place? Oh, 12 a.m. It's the night, so I think you understand. I always say, because I only have this time to prepare these videos, no more time again. But anyway, let's go to the other options, because under the cost management there are cost alerts. We will talk about that, budgets, and advisor recommendation. We'll talk about these options. But before that, let's talk about the billing as well. Now I am talking about the subscription, mind you. So if I go to the invoices, here are the invoices based on your subscription. Why there are no invoices for me? Because guys, I'm using 150 credit, because if you guys are using Azure free account, then I think you won't find any invoices. But if you are paying for something or from your own pocket, definitely nobody wants to know that, or I mean everybody wants to do the free stuff. But for the organization, the invoices are actually generated, and you can see all those details right under this place. Now, if we go to the payment method, because I also purchase pay as you go, that's why you can see my credit card detail here, but I don't want you to know more about it. But indeed, you can set up your payment method here in the cost management. This is so important for you. Now, before to move forward, I'd like to tell you one last thing, that when you go to the Azure subscription, guys, you can also check the cost analysis based on resources or resource group. Very easy. I give you one example. Let's go to my HA, which is my resource group. And I'd like to see the detail of all of these resources, how much they are consuming the overall money from me or for my organization. So what I can do, I simply go to the resource group. I am not in the subscription at this moment, and I click on cost analysis. It gives me the same screen, but with more precise detailed based on my resource group. Pretty simple, fair enough, right? Because sometime your organization review the overall resource group and said, hey, how does it actually cost so much, especially for this resource group? So you need to download those details, you need to share those details to the team. And here you go, you can go here, review the information, and don't forget to check your scope, because if I click on scope, here is the scope HA. But if you like to see a specific resource group under this place, you can also choose and analyze your overall money. You can find cost management. So here are the two things. Cost management plus billing is the traditional way, which was the earlier option. But now in the preview, you can also choose the cost management. Here you can see more options, or I can say the new UI to gather those information or to export the detail. But let me just go one by one. I click on the cost management plus billing. I go here. Very simple, nothing fancy. You won't find very special things here, but yeah, the additional things which I like to show you, you can see all those details under this place. So if you go to the cost management plus billing, here are the subscription. You can go review just like we saw a minute ago. Other option is click on cost management. As soon as you click on cost management, this window actually changed for you, because here you can set up your configure resource group, which definitely we don't want. The analyze cost, we can see that overall cost, and of course the recommendation, if Microsoft has any recommendation for you to control or to make things right to control overall your money consumption. So if I click on the view recommendation, but I'm sure I'm following the right standard. Yeah, it started viewing. Yeah, I don't have anything, especially from last 3 years and 30 days. See how much smart I am. I'm really a smart and cool guy. I don't make any mistake. I'm following all the recommendation from the Microsoft. But anyway, if you like to see what are the recommendation from the Microsoft, simply click on see list of the cost recommendation. As soon as you click on this, it will open another window, and here are the recommendation based on this, compute, MariaDB, MySQL, PostgreSQL. You can get more details about this. What are the best practices from Microsoft to control your overall cost here for your organization? But indeed, currently we don't have anything, so I go back to the same state. And again, in the cost analysis, yeah, the good thing is in the cost management, they also add the preview model here. So if I click on the preview model, this is the model here, and here you can get accumulated cost, cost by resource, cost by service, and obviously daily cost services. If I click on the daily cost, it shows you this the similar kind of screen, but a different kind of information. I just want you to wait so that you can see better details, including the forecast. Though right now we can find a similar detail we already saw in the subscription, but again, it's actually helpful if you like to play around with your own surface or in your playground, because right now I'm using very limited resource, but within your organization you can find tons of resources. So based on these resources, here you can see a much more detail, like this is what IoT Hub, and here's the detail, and here you can see the per day basis, which resource consume how much or what exactly the utilization was. This is more granular details about all those resources. Frankly, you won't find in the traditional point. Yeah, they can show you a per day basis, but it's really handy. When you need to submit the detail, this is going to be so helpful to you. So I want you to review, and of course, as you can see on the down below, you can get the similar detail or sort of kind of detail on the daily basis. Accumulated, let's try. Wow, there you go. You can have more details about the accumulated based on resources. Monthly basis, we can get those details as well. In just a minute, it will fetch for you. Yeah, there you go. In January, it was high. In February, mid. Yeah, running well. But at the end of the month, we can see much more detail, much more precisely. And not just resource, I like to see based on the location. Let's try this. So based on resources, obviously we are using East US2. So there you go. You can get those details as well. So likewise, as said, in this way, you can get much more granular, precise detail about each and every consumption within your subscription, within your organization. And the last thing is about the services. If I click on services, here you can get, in fact, more details that which service consume much, more money instead of all. So here are the services I'm currently consuming: IoT Hub, storage, virtual network, machines, and all that stuff. So especially, whenever you start using express route, people really wanted to know the bandwidth consumption, like in terms of money. And here's the detail, guys. You can simply share the screenshot, or you can simply download the detail. If you click on download, services only, services with product, it would be helpful. Automate the file download. You can also do that. Simply copy and share that information for the API if you are running, any third-party application. If you like to connect your SIEM solutions within this Azure, actually, because that's automation. So you can connect using this API, and you can enjoy downloading all those details right under one roof. If you really are a developer and you wanted to achieve such things, you can do that. But as an example, I just like to download my CSV file, Excel file. That's nice. I like to download my Excel file at this moment. Where is my Excel file? Can I see that? Oh, I'm using... Okay, let me see whether we can get more details or not. Here's a download, guys. No, not here at least. Let me try again. Let me go back to my download option. Interesting. Download with product, Excel. Come on, download. Yeah, I try that, please. Well, Microsoft Edge, you are playing with me. Where is my file? No file. It won't even allow me to download the file. Okay, what about the CSV? Can I download that? Interesting. No. I don't know, guys, what's going on, but I'm sure once you try this, it will certainly work for you. Apology for my Mac. Sometime, it works really bad. But anyway, I think you get the whole idea that how you can play around with this cost management traditionally and the preview, and nothing big difference, because if you go to the traditional cost analysis, you can get the similar screen, but again, not a very interesting options you can find here. But it's gonna be so helpful if you play around with this, right? So I'm sure you get the idea, but let's go a little bit further, learn more about the budget and all other options which I like to explain, and then just learn more on the Azure cost management. I'm happy because I'm guiding you about this, really happy. I'm sure now you guys are quite familiar with the cost management in Microsoft Azure. And I'm also sure that if someone said, hey, I would like to know the billing date from this to this particular custom dates, or like from last 7 days or daily basis or monthly basis, you are easily able to fetch those data and can share with your management. Guys, same thing, I like to also remind you, when you play around with this Azure cost management, it also does include some important things, at least at the background, that how Microsoft is actually start reviewing all of your service data and how they are calculating the information so that they can provide you the right billing information based on your subscription or the management group, all the resource groups. So though I have already explained in the practical manner about what is Azure cost management, it is certainly a kind of the tool or suite where you can start monitoring and allocate and control, especially control your cost based on your organization expectation or the requirement. And when we talk about the Azure billing, it is somewhere you can gather those details into the printed way, or I mean in the billing you can set up the budget. Budget can just help you out to set up a right settings or controlling or optimizing your utilization of your resources or the people, especially who is actually consuming a lot of money or hell of the money and you definitely don't want to overspending your money on certain unwanted, unexpected newly built resources by certain new junkies or new people, because sometimes it happen in the organization, people like to try out some for example, let's say I have a pay-as-you-go subscription, which definitely a playground for the production environment, and I do have a dev test, and the Microsoft is providing us a dev test a subscription, which overall cost, or the services and the overall what I can say, the power behind those resources are not too much. It is just for the testing purposes, and if everything works fine, we can start reviewing that what would be the best resource or the power we can use in the resource to deploy our resources. They can try and test in the dev test subscription, but if you like to involve the production thing, then I mean their limits are quite n, where you can choose whatever you want, how much powerful the VM or the compute resources, your SQL. I mean you understand the point. Dev test is with the limitation of your resources, what kind of resources and what is a maximum powerful thing, because you definitely don't want to spend a lot of money. But in the pay-as-you-go or any other subscription or enterprise subscription, which allows you to deploy n number of systems, unlimited kind of resources, then certainly the power is in your hand, and the money consumption is also in your hand, because it's completely depend on you how much you have and how much you want to spend. So similarly, guys, if you talk about the Microsoft commerce system, so for example, if you have Azure, Microsoft Dynamics 65, all those services, they're actually pushing their data to the Microsoft pipeline as an example. And it starts with the analyzing or filtering about these things like apply discounts and credits, publish invoices, because like, you know, if people start spending their money, it start reviewing their invoices, and you can do that right from the portal. Identify anomalies. This is so important to find out how many resources been running and how actually does they cost, because the cost allocation is based on your resources. And finally, if you set the budget, it starts sending the data or the report, and that's exactly, you can also optimize your money into the cost analysis, and that's exactly we learned that how you can start monitoring what's going on, and you can also export your data into the Excel sheet so that you can submit that Excel sheet to the management and they can enjoy learning from it. As well as there are some advisor recommendation from the Microsoft, where obviously, I mean, all sort of different kind of utilization options there for SQL, for data plane or data box, I mean, all other kind of MongoDB, or other kind of database options. So SQL database, so at least you can start analyzing and follow the best practices to avoid your duplicate data, so that it won't cost you much, because if you are simply copying your data, you are also utilizing bandwidth, not just your storage space, compute system, a lot of different kind of resources in Microsoft Azure. So be careful, and I think follow the right recommendation. And the final thing is the connectors, because if you like to manage the overall billing into one single surface, then you can also connect your AWS services, or I mean the billing section, to Microsoft Azure and publish all those details under one roof. You don't need to go to AWS, simply go to Microsoft Azure and obviously enjoy those findings or reviewing and monitoring your storage. Storage. Did I say storage? No, that's wrong. Cost, money. We are talking about money here. It's all about this. It's all about this. So I think you get the point. And yeah, definitely let's go and have a demo. But before the demo, I like to also mention the last thing, the budget, because we have already finished the cost analysis, and now probably you're very well aware about this. The budget is just helping us out to set up a right money, which can help us to set up that if you reaches to this percentage, let's say 80% of the total cost, then it will start sending an email or sending an SMS or different kind of services, maybe tweets or any post. I mean, you can attach to your logic apps to achieve those. Also, it helps us to identify that what was the limit set by your organization, and you can tell the same to your organization, I mean your department, not organization, and these department people will start spending their money or start creating resources within those limited cost being set up by the enterprise, or I mean your organization. So I think how you can achieve that, how you can set up those alerts, that is what we are going to learn in this, because now you already know how to monitor. Now let's learn how you can start optimizing and control your cost in Microsoft Azure Cost Management. In this last step, we are going to understand how your budget is working and how you can set the budget for your subscription or for your resource or for the whole tenant. It's so simple, pretty straightforward and easy to configure. Yeah, there are some options which you need to understand, and I will explain that how it is so important for you to set up the right budget to control your overall resource management. So for that, let's go to the cost management, pretty simple and straight. And as soon as you click go to the cost management, which is right here. So now you are under this place, and here an option under the cost management is called budget, right? So here is the scope, which is so important. Like I said, the scope is so important to set in a clear way so that you can start controlling all of your resources with no hassle, with no issues. So if I like to set up my course or budget based on my resource group, let's take an example. So go to the my resource group, and which is HA. Let's choose HA as an example. So my scope is changed from the subscription level. Now I am back to resource group name. Now select add. Here's the detail. So scope, please make sure that the scope should be chosen in a right manner. And currently it is analyzing the overall utilization in terms of money in that particular resource group. Now add and filter, if you like to add, it would help you. Billing period, let's say billing period should be from this to this. As an example, it gives you better detail about this, that how things work, and accordingly you can set. And you can see that the last month it was just $2 and this month goes to $22. And maximum monthly forecast, which is a forecast, it's gonna be 103, which is kind of slightly a concerned area to me. So to set up a right budget, select HarshArena budget. Pretty simple. Billing month or quarterly or yearly, how do you like to set? It's up to you. So expiration date for this settings or for this budget is gonna be, let's say 2024 January 26. Makes sense to me? That's fine. And here's a detail. Budget amount. How much money you like to suggest? So at this moment, I will set, let's say 22nd or 22. That's it. That's a maximum one. I don't want to spend more than that. Okay, just be ready. So this would be my maximum one, and click next as an example. So here's the type of the condition for the alert. Choose actual. Once it reaches to, let's say 100%, so what it can be done, because right now I have not created any action group. So obviously you can choose, let's say it reaches to 50% of the budget, which is around 11, or let's say we can choose is actually 100%. So what it should do to us, right now we have not created any action group. So let's go to the manage action group as an example, and I choose create a new action group. Should be under HA obviously, and region is global. That makes sense to me. Action group name HarshArena Batman. You can give any name you like. Display name HarshArena, A Batman. I think this sounds good to me. Notification, yeah, notification type should be email. I mean the people who has the owner role who should receive this kind of notification, or you want to set as an SMS or email. Yeah, I should send an email. That's an harshitprofessional.com email. That sounds good. Yeah, set up SMS mobile registration. You can do a lot of things. Enable the common alert schema. Yes, because I want to receive all of those information, and this would be notification type budget alerts for HA, because we have assigned this budget to HarshArena or HA resource group, correct? Actions, I think action been done already, though I don't want to choose that, though you can set up your automation if you like to, but I like to proceed with a review and create at this moment, and simply hit create. Once the action group is ready and been created, we can go back to the budget which we try to create. Let me refresh and see if we have something. Refresh. Nope. Okay, anyway, let's take some time. Oh, there you go. HarshArena Batman. So I am back and HarshArena Batman has been selected. Recipient, I can choose Harsh IT Professional hotmail.com. You can choose any other email if you like to. Obviously, who would like to receive this email? My language preference is default, which is fine. Simply hit create. That's it. As soon as my budget is been created And if I want to, go back to HarshArena, which is resource group, and let's go to HarshArena cost analysis. Let's see if we can see any of the sign. Otherwise, it may take some time and review. Actually, what I'm trying to say here is it can show you a warning sign because we already reaches to that 100% level. And if it reaches to the 100% level, certainly it won't allow us to create a new resources. And here we can see some, yeah, this is what I was talking about. So this is the budget because we are already at the warning level. And here we can see that what sort of information we have, because we have a maximum budget assigned to 22 and currently actual cost is 24. So please don't go more than that. That's how you're going to see the detail. And obviously you can also receive an email after some time. So that's the beauty of the budget, and that's how you can start managing your cost management. Though I can show you that email, but I highly recommend you to try out and see if you receive those emails or not, right? So yeah, guys, I mean, that to be all for the day. It's very simple, straightforward. And I hope you find this video quite informative and helpful to learn something new today. And definitely I will be back with new videos in AZ-104. Likewise, I said we will go to the deeper level and try to learn all those options available into that service so that you feel confident and you can also perform the job roles whatever been assigned to you by your organization or your certain people in the management. I hope you like this video. If you like, please hit the like button and share your comments if you have any. Otherwise, you can connect with me over WhatsApp. You can also donate money if you want to, if you're liking the series, if you're liking these training videos. Otherwise, please take care of yourself. I will see you in the next video. God bless you. Peace.